Oh my god, totally stripping the context away. I know what this clip is. This is the rewriting of history that Hasan is so good at.
Most of the people who hate me are either misguided, misinformed, or have like preconceived biases. Doesn't really matter to you, does it?
Hasan is whatever he needs to be when it suits him. And that's even down to his ethnicity. I'm yet again astonished by Hasan's audacity. That is fucking wild, man. No self-awareness whatsoever.
Stepped in it this time.
Yeah.
And it's like an outgrowth of how people would make those videos about someone like I don't know, like I don't want to get you in trouble by mentioning anyone, but you know, like the classic figures of the internet that people make fun of.
Yeah.
It all started with like Chris Chan, right?
Yeah, no.
Like the classic
It's a lolcow operation for sure. Like,
right.
I think that dude, those guys literally all come from that background where they're like, Pokimane is wrong.
Right.
Like,
right.
They do shit like that all the time. And I'm like the other target. I'm the only male target, I guess. Beyond.
Right. Oh my god, man. Okay, I think this is it. I think this is it, guys. I think this is it. Yeah. If you're a big creator on the biggest streaming platform, you're going to get scrutinized. And that's exactly the way it should be. Even I said earlier, the Pokimane cookie drama was overstated. I didn't really care about that. But there's absolutely... I was literally just after, okay, this will do. I think this is it. But there's definitely things Pokimane has done, which is like worthy of criticism. So what's the problem with her being criticized? I don't know, man. It just seems so weird to me. Like, it feels like there's this kind of thing where any criticism is just dismissed as sort of drama baiting or misogyny or something like that. Any time any criticism comes their way, or there's is obsessed with Hasan and stuff like, bro, you're the biggest fucking political stream on the platform. Of course, people are going to scrutinize you and criticize you. What the fuck?
Right, like that kind of content does really well. So like, there's like an entire economy of people who make videos like that are just like tailored to whatever a specific demographic like hates.
Wait, this is coming... Wait a second. This is coming from one of the guys from Chapo Trap House. Like, did Chapo Trap House not do this as well? That's a genuine question. But my interpretation of their content is, you know, it's certainly along those lines. Like, their content is very much tailored to a certain kind of, like, dirtbag lefty audience that, you know, hates certain figures or certain characters within, like, the political discussion. You know, this is just the nature of content. Yeah, people will make content about things they don't like because their community doesn't like them. Everyone is fucking guilty of this to one degree or another.
Do not look up what this guy said about Pokey. Wait, what has he said about Pokey?
Oh, I know what it's going to be. It's going to be the tweet, isn't it? Comparing her to Sniper Wolf.
Pokimane may be the most passive-aggressive streamer.
No, maybe not.
The fuck?
I'll take the L. I got it wrong.
I mean, I guess that's not too bad.
Oh, no, this is an old tweet. He's just typed it into Twitter. Okay. I mean,
of course,
it's true.
there's always a fucking tweet, dude. I mean, classic. Anyway.
But yeah.
Dude. Oh my god. This guy that covers influencer drama has got a tweet covering one of the biggest influencers. Damn, man. That's fucking quite telling, isn't it? Dude. What's he on about? What's wrong with that tweet as well? It's true. Well, whether or not you think it's true, it's not unreasonable that someone that covers influencer drama would have that kind of tweet knocking about. God, it's so pathetic, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it is. I mean, we said it earlier. It's like the equivalent of those websites that are generated on the subcontinent.
Yeah, the AI back to Indian websites.
Yeah. I always liked that, like, our show isn't popular enough for those videos to be made.
Dude,
I always thought it'd be funny.
Oh my god, this is so sad, man. This is like, oh my god. If Hasan was so confident about the performance in the debate, why on earth does he feel the need to, like, do this, like, I don't know. Like, he's trying to dig up everything he can bad about the guy to shit on him.
Today is
It's like a hit job, yeah. Oh, look, he did a video about Leafy, the last true YouTuber. 3 years ago. Dude. What has this got? And also, what has this even got to do with his criticisms of you? He could have a video. He could have a video that he released that's, I read Mein Kampf and I agree with everything in it and I think Hitler is based. And that still wouldn't make any difference to the criticism that he's made of you. God, this is the ultimate cope. Going back over someone's commentary video history to try and find the things that are bad to, like, you know, to shit on them after the fact.
To go on one day. And there's just like a picture of me looking worse than ever. And it's like, listen to what he said here. And it's like, everything.
Also, isn't this typical of Hasan? Looking at a thumbnail and immediately concluding and not even looking at the content of the video. For all I know, it's a massively pro-Leafy video. I don't know. It could be middle of the road. It could be criticism. But he's sat here looking at the thumbnail as if that proves anything. Dude. They're not even going to watch the video.
A race analysis about Amy Schumer.
Don't say stuff like that. They will take it in all sincerity. Watch out.
I can say it. And it's really not what people will think. If they put me next to Jake Tapper to debate about this, I would win.
I like that it was mostly like, how dare you assume, how dare you say 100% that it was Israel, even though you say now that it's 90% that it's Israel.
Right.
That, like, yeah. Israel blew up a...
Jesus Christ, this is like... Oh, this is cringe to watch, man. After the fact, reframing everything so you look good. He didn't say that. That wasn't what he said. That is nowhere close to what he was trying to get at in what he was saying. But obviously he was so obsessed with getting dunks in that he didn't spend a single second listening to the actual criticism. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. This is hard to watch.
Another hospital. How dare you say that? I fucking owned you.
Well, yeah. It's also like, like all the, like the evidence that you were supposed to wait for from Israel is a faked phone call they made between two IDF officers who sort of speak Arabic, and then like the munitions analysis that's been debunked by like the New York Times.
The most popular, also the most popular
4.
munitions analysis that came from Geo Confirmed at the time that like everyone was holding up as like the truth, which I immediately said was ridiculous and false. Geo Confirmed himself had to admit was false. I was, you know, I don't really like the OSINT stuff all that much, but I was duking it out with the OSINT guys on that day because I was very stubborn about it. But overall, there was a tremendous amount of misinformation coming on this issue. So, of course, like
Yeah, and you shared it. You perpetuated it by sharing it on your stream. There was a tweet of someone that follows you that had about 1,500 views from who the fuck knows who, claiming that there was 800 dead, and you said, and you repeated that with no scrutiny of the source. You in fact said this is, you referred to it as like on the ground reporting, even though you've not verified it. Jesus Christ. That would be like me pulling up a video of, I don't know, I'm a Zio shill. I'm a Zio shill now, okay? That would be like me putting up like a tweet of some like pro-Israel thing. And it's like, and the IDF handing out sweeties to kids in Gaza and going, look, come on, what's the problem? They're being nice to the kids in Gaza. It's like, this video is actually 3 years old. Well, come on, what am I supposed to do, man? How am I to know it was a fake video? The point is, don't show the video. Don't show stuff, you know, that you can't verify. Don't show random shit from Twitter, from accounts that constantly post misinformation. Just take a step back from the precipice, relax, and, you know, share more verified things. Or if you do want to share stuff that's on Twitter, do it with a heavy dose of, guys, this is not confirmed. I'm pulling this from Twitter, but I'm going to show you anyway. Just proceed with caution and we'll be... Do you know what I mean? But there's none of that. It's just pull it up. Oh, look at this, man. 800 people dead. Yeah, on the ground reporting. Fuck off, man.
I do not think that I'll just, in the future, I'll just say I'm 99% sure, okay? Instead of 100%. There you go. That's my takeaway.
Fetterman,
Okay. So he's learnt nothing. Okay. Yeah, of course he is. Yeah, I know. I know he is. He's never going to change. What is it they say? Do not rely on someone. Do not rely on someone understanding something when their income relies on them not understanding it. Right? That's the thing, isn't it? That's the concept. Because he benefits. What's more exciting to you as a viewer? Right? Is it someone sat there going, okay, guys, this has just happened. We need more information, before we can really come to any conclusions. Here's a variety of sources reporting on it, and here's what they're saying about it, right? Is it that? Or is it, Jesus Christ, guys, can you believe it? The IDF have just bombed the hospital. It's been wiped off the face of the earth, and there's 1,000 people that are dead, including 500 children. And there's reports that the IDF are walking into the grounds of the hospital and raping the corpses with bayonets. Oh my fucking God, this is crazy. IDF genocide, open air prison, rape. Obviously, that is way more exciting. And here's the thing as well. It's way more exciting if you like Hasan, okay? But you know also what's more exciting for? If you hate Hasan, it's also very exciting too, because you get to go and watch and hate on him. That's the fucking problem with this, is that if you're, provocative to the point of spreading misinformation, not only will your fans love it, your anti-fans will love it too, and they'll also watch. They're also going to fucking tune in and watch it as well. So, it's like the double whammy effect, that you can be provocative and you get both sides of that aisle coming to watch you because of how fucking provocative you are. So, yeah.
really looks like people in chat are probably too young to know about these news stories, but there was a real problem in the late 90s of guys who had a brain injury who accidentally killed a woman by hugging her. And that's what John Fetterman looks like to me.
Man, you said man, show some fucking self-respect. Please, if not for your voters, at least for your kids. This is some of the most shameful groveling for a lobby I've ever seen. No, this goes beyond that, dude. I don't think
Is it possible for lefties to make criticisms of people supporting Israel, in their opinion, blindly and unnecessarily, without alluding to anti-Semitic stereotypes, dude? Oh, I see you're groveling for the Israeli lobby, the Jewish dollar. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know much about the Fetterman thing. It is kind of crazy. Like I understand that progressives don't want to push, they want to support Israel somewhat, at least, because they don't want to be seen and be able to be attacked for supporting Hamas, etc. But Fetterman is Fetterman Jewish? Is Fetterman Jewish himself, first of all? Is that a Jewish name? I don't really understand. I'm asking for a reason, okay? Right, okay. So he's not Jewish, that's fine. Why? I mean, it's one thing to say Israel has got a right to defend itself, but they should be moderate in their response. And we need a humanitarian pause, which is like the moderate position on the situation. Why is Fetterman so pro-Israel? Why? I saw him walk past the thing and he was waving an Israeli flag. Why? And I'm asking not as an anti-Semitic meme. I'm genuinely what is his politics that would lead him to that position? Because he's got brain damage, okay? Because he's based. Electoralism. But the point I'm making is you can have a moderate position that gestures, a positivity towards Israel without draping yourself in a fucking Israeli flag, right? That's the point I'm making. Wearing an Israeli flag is a pretty bold statement that goes beyond just making the politically necessary commentary to protect yourself from attacks from bad faith pro-Israel politicians. But he's taken it a step further. Anyway, like I say, I think you could be critical of this without invoking potentially like weird tropes about Israeli money and Jewish money.
This is just like groveling.
That's just me.
I like, I get why. He said in an old tweet that he hopes your house burns down. Wait, what? I can't click on this. I don't know why. It says the page doesn't exist. Do you have a screenshot of it? He deleted it? Oh, well, I don't think you can delete that, right? That's probably archived, I suspect.
This is going to news coverage here. Oh, wait.
Prior
Oh, no, wait.
As though it was like...
Okay. No, we got it. Here we go. Sorry, I jumped ahead a bit. I shouldn't have done that. My bad.
Guys who had a brain injury, who accidentally killed a woman by hugging her. And that's what John Fetterman looks like to me.
Wait, what? I archived, I suspect.
Here we go.
Supreme Leader Pokemon just made a tweet, and Twitch's staff of virgins fold immediately.
That's a funny tweet. That's the problem with some of these big streamers. They're so fucking self-serious. They're so self-serious. Like that guy I showed, whose picture, you know, when he does like an ugly version of someone, right? You know that there's certain internet personalities that would be furious with being represented in that way. Like, to me, I'm like, that's kind of funny, isn't it? It's a self-deprecating thing you can do if you want to. But obviously, these people take it super seriously.
I hope Hasan's house gets burned down so I can respond to him in the same way. That's nice, man. That's sick.
Oh my God, totally stripping the context away. I know what this clip is. This clip is him like downplaying and acting like a guy's, you know, little retail store getting shredded by protesters is no big deal. And Hasan was very dismissive towards it. And so WillyMac is simply pointing out, you're not having any sympathy for this guy. I hope you're put in a situation where I can have no sympathy for you. But obviously, he's presenting it as just, he's some sort of unhinged freak that wants Hasan's house to burn to the ground for no reason. Fucking hell. Carter. Yeah, he's another fucking Hasan dick sleeve, isn't he? He was actually quite nice at TwitchCon, so I don't want to... You know, he's a nice guy. But that's exactly what he is. We understand the difference between a business and a home, right? Or is that too complex? So that's, yeah, I mean, that's a classic, like, communist or socialist distinction that's made. When, yes, obviously your house burning down would be disastrous. But, like, also, if someone trashes your retail store that you make a sort of humble living off of running, that's also going to be fucking disastrous for you. But obviously the lefties struggled to contend with that.
Again, another fucking moment where I'm talking about media analysis that he responded to as though it was like my own personal perspective on like how much I
love that he doesn't watch the clip either. Maybe he will. Okay. I'm concluding now. Maybe he'll watch the clip. I don't want to conclude. Wait.
When small businesses light on fire or something. And that's also similar to how like, you know, a personal home being lit on fire. Who is this person? Some fucking freak, dude. I don't know.
Also, yeah, maybe you could change it a bit and you could say, I hope that Hasan's streaming room burns. If you wanted to be really specific about it. Also, I mean, if you're being in any way good faith, it's very clear. I mean, I can understand. One point to Hasan, you're going to be maybe emotional if you see that. I don't think that's true, really, though. I think he's just using that to paint a certain narrative about this guy. It's the classic, let's bring up everything possible that we can about this person because I just lost a fucking debate to them, you know?
Anyway. All right.
And this must be them moving on.
Yeah, I love the conversation about Israel not blowing up this one fucking hospital because they say so. In the sea of like Israel blowing up ambulances and being like Hamas was in the ambulance.
Yeah, they also warned that specific hospital several times.
Yeah,
and
that they were gonna. They blew it up. They blew up the cancer.
If that okay, I'm guessing they're going to focus on this now, so we'll move on to the next day segment. If that's true and they're doing all this crazy stuff, why not just focus on that then? Why not talk about that instead and focus on that? The reason is you wanted the juicy story of Israel wiping a hospital off the face of the map. That's the reality of it. Didn't quite pan out. Didn't quite pan out. But you jumped on that because you thought it benefited your narrative much more greatly than the alternative. Anyway, I don't really want to focus on the... we've kind of covered this already. I'm interested to see what further cope we may see from this particular chap. He's got a little hat on. Good start.
Bro, don't ever debate again. All your haters are having a field day like the Kool-Aid man who hates you. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Sometimes you got to let it blow off a little bit of steam, folks. It is what it is, you know? It wasn't really a debate, but more so just a shouting match where the dude who
turned it into a shouting match, though? It's so funny that this is his takeaway. It was a shouting match. Yeah, who was shouting? Who was the one that made it aggressive? You did. Trying to fucking railroad the guy constantly.
covered me refused to hear like any sort of contextualization. He's like, I have preconceived notions about you, and I hope you watch my videos, and I hope that if you tell me something that kind of destroys that narrative a little bit, I'm going to say it's irrelevant over and over again. No, I won't put it on YouTube. He probably will, but
the thing is, I know you might think, oh, that's because he lost and he knows he did. It's just because he's a fucking egotistical prick. That's why. It's because he's got a fucking enormous ego. Also, it's already on YouTube. One of the clip channels got it up quite quickly. That's my interpretation. Listen, there's a case to be made that it's because he knows he lost deep down. I think he's just being very egotistical, personally. You know, I'm not going to bother putting up, but I'm sure he's going to. Like, dude. Oh. Hasan should have lost, but he raped WillyMacShow with his superior debate tactics. If you're a Hasan audience member, obviously Hasan won, but then Hasan has got a very sycophantic audience. So Hasan would, I mean, I don't know what Hasan would have to do to lose to them. But I think anyone that's not a Hasan fan or not even a WillyMac fan is down the middle is probably going to see what was going on there, could see Hasan's aggression and stuff like that. I don't know, man. It's tough to say. Everyone's got their biases, so I don't know if we could ever find that true down-the-middle analysis. But
I think it basically started and ended at, I don't really know what my gripe with you is, so I have to go back and watch my video to get the talk.
Dude, what? Okay. This is the rewriting of history that Hasan is so good at, right? That isn't what happened at all. What happened was this. WillyMacShow came in and said, my problem with you is that you speak confidently about breaking news as it happens, but you don't have the qualification nor resources to make these claims. You then walk it back, but you also continue to make these claims, right? That's what WillyMac came in saying. Hasan then said, give me an example of that. Give me an example of that. So he went, here's a time that you did it here. And Hasan did everything he possibly could to wriggle out of it, right? Now the cope is, he's had time to think about it. He can come back to his audience, and the cope is instead, he didn't even know what point he was trying to make. He had to go and watch his video to find out. The whole reason he was watching his video is because you were asking for specific quotes that you were saying. God, how on earth, his audience are full of the most brain-dead goldfish freaks you could imagine, that they're going to eat this up. I think, probably, right? Irrelevant goalposts. Took him 50 seconds to lie. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like looking at chat 'cause it's full of idiots. Except for you guys. You guys are all really smart and clever. And that's why you support me. But yeah, generally speaking, it's going to be just sycophantic stuff, isn't it?
Talking points that I wrote down originally, while also simultaneously in the most parasocial way being like, no, I know more about your life than you do.
Parasocial. I love how parasocial has come on to mean a creator talking about another creator in the that's now parasocial apparently. Parasocial originally is in reference to like a movie star and someone who likes a movie star. The movie star doesn't know they exist. Okay? That was the whole point of the parasocial thing. But you feel a connection with the movie star because you see them and they don't no idea you exist. And then I think in the streaming space, it was more so a kind of analysis of a viewer and a streamer's interaction. It's not parasocial because you know a chat is there and you might know their name, but it's like it's a non-symmetrical relationship, right? But people call it parasocial and that's fine. But now one creator looking at another creator, looking at them and going, here's my analysis of why they're wrong on this. That is now parasocial as well, apparently. When this guy was just on your stream yesterday to debate with you. Like, dude. Literally just using whatever buzzword you can think of to try and diminish this guy in the eyes of your audience. It's so pathetic.
After yesterday, I remember how many people don't understand basic use of rhetoric and framing. Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. This is crazy.
Like, there were moments where, I mean, I'll just tell you this much. Most of my haters, most of the people who hate me are either misguided, misinformed, or have like preconceived biases. I'm sure there's like people who hate me for good reasons, right? Like,
okay,
certainly
grants that at
people
least.
who hate me for like ideological reasons. But in a lot of circumstances, it goes, hey, we need to have this conversation within the framework of not an 8-hour broadcast or even an hour-long coverage that you've dedicated to a particular matter, but this like specific thing that you said in one moment, I'm going to lock you into that as though your analysis begins and ends there.
That was... WillyMac was not... Jesus Christ, man. It's so shameful. It's so shameful how he's twisting this. That's not what happened at all. He was not trying to lock him into one thing that he did. He was trying to present you with examples that you asked for to demonstrate the pattern of behavior that he was explaining, which is correct and true. And everyone that knows fucking Hasan, that isn't a fucking cum-guzzling fan, knows this. He reacts to breaking news too quickly, comes to conclusions too quickly on bad information, walks it back a bit, but then continues to make bad claims about the situation. That's it. That is the criticism. That's what he was saying. God, it's so shameful how he's able to come on and twist it to his audience to benefit the narrative that he wants to push out now. Mental.
I'm also going to say there's no analysis or any information whatsoever that you bring to the table when you make an assertion. Sometimes it might be correct. Sometimes it might be incorrect. We will never talk about the correct ones. We will only talk about the incorrect ones. And not even incorrect ones, but like statements that you've made where you've exaggerated. I, on the other hand, can exaggerate and lie and say you do on-the-ground reporting, use something out of context to say that you claim that all the time, keep repeating it back and forth to you. Couple things that haters say on a regular basis about me is that I am supposed to be some activist hero, some ascetic lifestyle leading socialist Jesus, if you will. Never made that claim. Don't believe that. I'm not that at all. As a matter of fact, I always say I'm a stupid guy. I'm a dumb guy. I'm a himbo. I'm a Twitch streamer. So oftentimes what ends up happening is like people...
The Tucker Carlson defense. The Tucker Carlson defense. God, it just comes across. The thing is like talking about a debate you've had after the fact is fine, but with this, I don't know. Maybe this is just what it comes across as to people when you talk about this sort of thing. It feels like this cope to try and convince your audience a certain direction, rather than just being a genuine explanation of how you feel the debate went and what your own perspective of it was. You know, it's like, well, my haters, like this WillyMac guy is obviously referencing, do this, and this. And it's like, just talk about the debate and like what you think about it. Like, honestly, like, it's like there's a vested interest here. It's like he's trying to swerve the perspective of his chat, which already agrees with him, more so to his side. Like, dude, like, they already agree with you. They're already sucking you off, man. What more could you possibly want? I don't know, man. It's just... Oh well, let's keep going.
Will associate me with a value that they've ascribed to me, and then they'll yell at that value that they've ascribed to me. They'll be like, why are you claiming to be a socialist revolutionary figure who's LARPing as a hero while also simultaneously buying a Porsche? And I'm like, I'm not a socialist revolutionary hero or an activist at all. But it doesn't matter.
Okay, with that particular point, I think that Hasan has actually shifted this a bit, but he's not done it out of a genuine principle aspect. It's because when he was smaller, it was beneficial for him to promote himself as a socialist revolutionary leader. All of his artwork was based on like Soviet realism propaganda stuff. He did the, what was it, the Agitprop podcast, I think it was called. You know, Let the Rivers Run Red. It was all this kind of like super hardline socialist revolutionary rhetoric. And he used that to promote himself as someone that was pushing forward leftism in a meaningful way, right? But as time has gone on and as he's reached the apex of his career, he doesn't really need to push that anymore. So he can kind of draw back a bit on that. He can be supported as an entertainer, and he can act like, you know, well, I don't do that. Yeah, maybe now you're not coming on and you're doing the same sort of hardline revolutionary rhetoric that you used to. But you used to do that. You used to do that. And, you know, I think there was definitely a dynamic that existed earlier where people that were supporting him were doing so because they thought they were supporting leftist revolutionary stuff. You know, I remember vividly there was conversations I bore witness to where people were acting like subscribing to Hasan was an act of mutual aid, right? I'm hoping you guys have seen that too or remember that somewhat, but I vividly remember that was what the fucking talking point of perspective was. That in supporting Hasan, you're not just supporting a streamer that is entertaining you. You are engaging in some sort of revolutionary praxis, you know, in the battle against the bourgeoisie. But as Hasan has become bigger and he's become more successful, and he has, in his own way, become part of the bourgeoisie, right? The petty bourgeoisie, I guess you would call him. He's been able to kind of walk back a bit from that and just act like he's the entertainer. And that's all he's ever been. When that's not true. Go and watch his old streams. Go and watch his old fucking streams and you'll see he was pushing a lot harder this idea that, you know, support of him was some sort of political act beyond just giving money to an entertainer that you happen to enjoy that's got a lefty bent.
My preconceived notion of you is that, and that's locked in. The other thing is I'm a reporter. I'm not a reporter. I've never said I'm a reporter. I've never said I'm a journalist. I'm a political commentator. So when you lock me into that box in your mind and I say, well, that's not the case, well, it doesn't really matter to you, does it?
Hasan is whatever he needs to be when it suits him. And that's even down to his ethnicity, right? There are times where sometimes Hasan will talk about being Turkish, and when that benefits him, he's Turkish. But then other times when it benefits him to be white, he's white all of a sudden, right? Every aspect of Hasan is interchangeable, right? Dependent on whatever is beneficial at the time that he's talking, right? That could be immediately, or it could be more broadly. Early on, I'm a socialist, revolutionary, you're supporting me, you're supporting leftism, etc., etc. Now, it's not beneficial to do that anymore, so we can walk away from it, right? He's like a chameleon. Yes, exactly. That's a good point, chat. He's like a chameleon. So, you know, when it benefits him, he's covering on-the-ground journalists, reporting and talking about what he's seeing and showing tweets and doing this analysis of the explosion and having to go at anyone else. But then when he's on Piers Morgan, I'm a propagandist. You know, other times I'm just an idiot with a Twitch stream. It's so shameful, man.
You're not in it for the truth, or you're not in it to like clear anything up, right? So all of that stuff is usually where it begins and usually where it ends, unfortunately. The irony, of course, is that most people, I think that I just like make up stuff because they're only aware of the... most people just don't really watch the entire stream or even a long period of time, or even my YouTube videos where my thoughts are certainly much more... much more clearly defined on my YouTube videos that are better packaged. They don't want to watch that. They want to lock me into like you saying it's 100%, it's 100%. So here's the problem. I'm just a grifter, Hasan. Yeah, that's what I said. Thank you, Alien Milk. Thank you for your wonderful contribution. So, I went back and watched the VOD last night. You said 90% for the most part. When you said 100%, it's like 100% Israel at this point because of the bombings in the area. They lied about being there. They warned the same hospital and they were going to bomb it. I know, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because like he's like, oh, I got you. I got you. He also lied. Someone on my subreddit, actually, the last remaining debate pervert that we haven't banned in this community, actually.
Dude, the audacity of this guy to use the term debate pervert after that performance yesterday is shocking. I'm yet again astonished by Hasan's audacity. That is fucking wild, man. No self-awareness whatsoever. Jesus, man. Whew. That is quite something, isn't it?
Really put together like a timeline of like why this was so fucking stupid, because right off the gate he was like, you lied about explain. Oh, with clips and everything. This is like an actual fucking debate lord who like went through it and put it down piece.
God, look at this, man. Instantly lied at the start. I love the fact that none of the other aspect is addressed. It's just one specific word that was used. That's the lie. That he, because WillyMac said he never apologized. Bear in mind, Hasan was trying to cut him off as well. He admits to lying in minutes. Jeez, this is tragic, man. This is very tragic.
By piece. Instantly lied at the start. Hasan has apologized and corrected himself about Russia's invasion. But then he was like, well, it wasn't good enough, your apology. Second lie, Kyiv was bombed on February 24th. He's using Hasan's commentary on February 22nd. Third lie, October 17th. Originally, BBC said it's hard to see what else could really be the size of the explosion other than an Israeli airstrike or several other airstrikes. It was not hearsay, as he claimed. Fourth lie, Hasan never apologizes to X. If you repeat a lie enough, oftentimes, is it true? So that was the funniest part about this, the hospital explosion category, because he literally didn't even know the BBC had said that the hospital was very likely bombed by the IDF.
It's hard to see what else this could really be, given the size of the explosion, other than Israeli show service. It's not hearsay as he claimed. Has anyone got a link to that? Also, was Hasan's reporting based on this specific quote? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is like a post hoc rationalization to go, well, look, the BBC said this at the time. Like, I remember watching Hasan's coverage of it, and he was looking primarily at headlines. He was looking primarily at headlines and stuff like that, which, you know, all made it clear that it was, well, that's not true, actually. I don't want to. Some did a better job of making it clear. Most that I saw made some effort to differentiate that this was not confirmed by them. This was from the Palestinian health authorities reporting. Some made the Hamas link a lot clearer. Like it was a fucking disaster, in all honesty. Like in terms of the information coming out and the different ways it was reported, it was a fiasco. There's no doubt about that. But I feel like that fiasco is being used by Hasan to justify jumping to conclusions where he could have just gone, damn, there's a lot of conflicting information here. Let's wait for more information to come out before we say conclusively, right? So they're kind of using what was a chaotic time in the press to justify Hasan's like misgivings and wrongdoing in this situation.
It's completely understandable that everyone
exactly
thought at the time.
He bought one article and it said Hamas-run health industry, and he derided it and said, oh, why is it the Hamas-run health industry? And it's like, that's the point you need to listen to. They're telling you this is potentially biased information, proceed with caution. But obviously, because it doesn't say that with big letters for some people, they're too retarded to understand that. And it doesn't benefit Hasan's back pocket to understand that either.
Time that the hospital was 100% conclusively bombed by the IDF. Why the fuck would you not think that? I don't think that it's anything to apologize for, as a matter of fact, especially considering that Israel never disproved that it didn't bomb the hospital. So, important to recognize every single piece of information that they gave, other than the assertion that it was an Islamic Jihad rocket that misfired, was immediately disproven, time and time again. Fifth lie, claims Hasan doesn't moderate for Ethan. He does obviously for Ethan, especially so. He admits to lying multiple times. Yeah, he said that I was a reporter. I've never said that. Like, it was most likely a misspeak that he just openly admitted he openly admitted was a, sometimes I like to exaggerate for fun. He said he was being facetious. Eighth lie claims to know what mods are banning, clearly clout farming. The
Eighth lie claims to know what mods are banning. I got to be honest with you, I'm not sure what this person's definition of a lie is, but I'm not sure if I would agree that that would be a lie necessarily. Yeah, this is pure and utter cope. This is like a community that is grasping at straws, trying to give Hasan a ledge to grasp onto to cope about this debate.
meme went from not that much evidence to not 100% basic sophistry. Offended on behalf of Ethan, but didn't watch the conversation. After Hasan explained covering police testimonies, Willy's immediate pivot was towards the chat posting breaking news despite the Fossabot receipt. I'm not 100%, not 99% certain this isn't about ethics of research, but instead drama grooming, edited the 411 lies. So that's basically it. I mean, there's no standard of proof on his side. He can just say whatever fucking fallacious claims he wants to. He openly recognizes that he's a drama farmer and his video is a drama video. But ultimately, it was just, you know, it was good for at least some people to understand that, you know, a lot of these guys. And
wait, what's this? Corrections, clarifications. Oh no, is this from the post? Who's got this? Let me read that post myself. That Hasan fan linked. Does anyone have a link to the Hasan post? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the point I was making. I don't even know what I thought. Maybe does he not cover literally like they're still gunning people down, so we don't know what's happening. That's what it seemed like to me. But yeah, that message being used as an example to demonstrate it doesn't cover breaking news is totally delusional. How on earth can he sit there with a straight face and try and claim he doesn't cover breaking news? He literally fucking does. Jesus. Oh, okay. Damn. We've got the links on lockdown. Thank you. Here we go. Corrections and clarifications. Is that all? Is that all that it links to? Oh, I guess we've got to find it. Oh my god! Oh my god! I got to read. I fucking hate reading. Jesus. I feel like I just got a DM from Dark Viper himself. Where's the? Where is it? Oh, I guess we could find the thing, couldn't we? The actual. Okay, I'm being kind of retarded. We just search for it. It's hard to see. Does that do it for us? Here we go. Okay, right. This is exactly what I thought. I fucking knew this would be the case. It's exactly what I thought, right? So this is probably like some live reporting that was happening. Whereas Hasan primarily was looking at headlines. So they're trying to use the BBC having like a chaotic situation where there was like misreporting happening broadly, and it happened in this specific instance, and they're trying to broadly make the point, well, the BBC were like a bit all over the place, so therefore Hasan was fine to say what he said. Even though it doesn't justify that at all. Did he watch this specific report and get his take exactly from this report? We reviewed our coverage of the immediate aftermath of an explosion of the Al Ali Hospital, Arab hospital in Gaza City on Tuesday night. During this, our correspondent was giving instant analysis on the ground from Jerusalem in what was a confusing and difficult story. The program repeatedly made it clear that it had yet to verify who was behind the blast, including in the questioning by the presenter. The correspondent said that the Israelis had been contacted and were investigating, adding, "It's hard..." Oh my God, man. Even this, the context of it, is pretty clear. If you're watching this report, that they're not saying conclusively that it's Israel. They're just making like a comment, and they've corrected it after, obviously, because it probably was a bit too much towards one direction. But the way they've quoted this, jeez, man, they're so dishonest. It's unbelievable. It's hard to see what else this could really be, given the exciting explosion. He then explained that in his experience as a reporter in Gaza, he had never seen explosions of this scale caused by rockets being fired out of territory. He again stressed the pictures had yet to be verified. We accept that even in this fast-moving situation, it was wrong to speculate in this way about the possible cause, and we apologise for this, although we did not at any point report that it was an Israeli strike. Dude. That's wild. Most people are not going to look for this, by the way. This is buried deep. Most people are not actually going to look for this. Yeah, that's why Hasan didn't go over it, because it still makes him look bad. This is clear, like, this is evidently a live news broadcast, and someone said something out of pocket. Did Hasan? I do not believe that Hasan based his analysis of the situation on this single sentence uttered by a reporter live on the ground at the time. It seemed much more that he was just looking at press reporting broadly, being dismissive of the idea that this is a Hamas organization saying this, and then concluded that it was Israel, and that's the line that he went down with it, all of his kind of coverage of this. Jesus, man. Crazy dishonesty on display. That's wild.
And their claims do not come from like a real place of valid concern. They might present it as such. Okay? They might present themselves as doing such a thing, but that's not the fucking case. It's just Keemstar level drama farming. And this is the reason why I usually don't engage unless it's on a particular matter. You know what I mean? If it's Israel-Palestine, we could talk about that all day, every day. Ask if he'll be adding corrections like the responsible thing to do. Yeah. That's exaggeration, and that's how you do propaganda. You've been very open about doing propo. No, but that's not like just to simply state that like, oh, I'm a propagandist, which means like I'm going to give you...
Yeah, very true. That is the go-to thing. You're just drama farming. I mean, it is, you know... It is frustrating. I'm not going to lie. It is frustrating. You know, it's the frustrating thing that people do, is they dismiss you out of hand because the tone of your video is drama. But like, you can still say something that's true. I mean, what's funny about it, right, is if you are wrong about something, people will like hyper focus on that. But if, you know, they never like say what you're wrong about, and when they call you a drama farmer, they just call you a drama farmer. You're just a drama farmer, man. You're just a fucking drama farmer, right? If you're wrong about something, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to be scrutinizing that and telling you how you're wrong about it. But other than that, you're just a drama farmer. So people shouldn't pay attention to you. You know, even if your criticism or analysis is correct, right? It's so fucking annoying. But hey, that is the, you know, I'm willing to, listen guys, I'm willing to bear that for you. I'm like Jesus. I'm like Jesus carrying the cross on his back to crucify himself. All right? I'm willing to be that for you. Much like a Jew in 1940s Germany. You know, getting round up into a train car. I will continue to stay true to my principles, even as I'm led into the gas chamber. Dude, what the fuck? Okay, right, come on. Let's crack on. What am I saying?
Incorrect information is bullshit. I'm not going to give you incorrect information. I'm going to give you correct information, and sometimes my analysis off of that, my analysis will usually be sound. However, I might get something wrong. In most circumstances, I don't, and that's precisely the reason why these guys, after, you know, 2,000, 3,000 hours of footage.
But dude, it's so insane. There's so much he's got wrong. Big, high topic stories. Carl Rittenhouse, incorrect. Right? I mean, the Israel-Palestine thing is quite broad. Like, I don't think Hasan is completely wrong about Israel-Palestine. He's got some legitimate criticisms of Israel, but it's just the fact he's so one-sided with it all the time. You know, but like, there's elements of that he's gotten wrong. I didn't actually watch his original coverage of the October 7th attacks, but my inclination is that he probably wasn't as extreme as some other people were, calling it a revolution, but he probably did the thing where he went, Well, yeah, obviously it's bad to kill civilians, and then immediately went back into all of his criticism of Israel and how Israel's bad and how Israel are somehow responsible for all of this. Hamas have got no agency and it's all Israel's fault. That's what I'm guessing he did in his coverage, you know? I don't know. It's, you know, I think you'd probably need to go to quite a lot of lengths to really lay out all the things of like breaking news that he's got wrong. But anyway, let's keep going. See what else we
can
got.
only basically find 3 separate instances that they hammer over and over again. Think about that for a second. I've been covering breaking news / news in general and offering political commentary on it because I'm not a fucking journalist. I'm a Twitch streamer for 5 years now, nonstop, but specifically doing it full time every fucking day since 2020. That's 3 years now, about to go on my 4th year. And the only thing they can grab onto is like 3 moments that are entirely out of context when you look at the body of work that I've put forward. And all they have to do is go, la, 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 la. I can't hear you. I do not care about the frame. I do not care about the analysis. I do not care about the information.
Very true. Follow the content. Yeah, he's got award for news coverage. He's happy to accept the awards, isn't he? He's not like, oh guys, I know I've just got the award for news, but I'm not really a news guy. I'm just an idiot with a Twitch stream. No, he's fucking up there like a rat up a drain, like a fucking whippet. Oh, yeah, I'll take the award for news. Yeah, I'm fucking based. I'm based and correct about everything. Let's go.
I don't even have any personal, genuine ideological positions that I care about. You did say you do reporting on the ground, under the context, but it's in his video, regardless, he's a drama pervert. It has to be a misspeak. I didn't watch the video, and I will not watch the video, but everybody knows that I do not say that I'm an on-the-ground
reporter.
For cash. I'm not an on-the-ground journalist at all.
So yeah, obviously now he's focusing. So he is focusing on the kind of like the more bullshit aspects of what he's trying to approach here, right? Okay. Does anyone... Okay, I'm asking you. You're probably all biased, right? I would be very surprised if there are people out there whose genuine position is, Hasan said he does on-the-ground reporting, but he's not actually on the ground, is he? Like, that's like a very literal autistic analysis of it. Obviously, the point was, the misspeak was funny, because obviously he isn't like an on-the-ground reporter, but that was more of a misspeak. But the point was, he is overselling what he does by acting like he's engaging with on-the-ground journalists like a standard news station was. Like, he acts like a journalist, but then when pushed on it, he's like, I'm not a journalist. But he wants the kind of credit for being like on the day he's covering it live, he's doing it because it's important to sift through the misinformation. Oh my God, it's so annoying.
Only time that I've done on-the-ground reporting is from a picket line. That's it. Beyond that, I don't do that at all. I've gone to a QAnon rally and I've gone to a picket line, but that's pretty much it. So it's either in the context of me talking about that specifically, or it's me basically saying I use on-the-ground reporting and I misspoke and people are fucking, using that. It was a misspeak. You immediately corrected. It was in his own video. Oh, okay. That's great. Yeah. I use on-the-ground reporting when I am covering the news. That's it. But again, it's very like...
Wait, wasn't this whole point it was like a misspeak, but now he's trying to say... No, I do use it, but I use it in this way. Yeah, that's absurd. That's absurd. That's an absurd concept that you're a fucking guy sat in his fucking bedroom. Wow. Sat in one of your many rooms of your $3 million house. You know, it's a massive overstatement of what you're doing when you're literally just pulling in random tweets to look at and giving your half-cocked analysis on it in the moment. Oh... Yeah, this is all a performance for Hasan. This is all a performance. Like I say, If you have a conversation or a debate, yeah, of course, you might want to talk about it a bit and talk about your experience. But this doesn't seem, this seems like he's come to the stream and he's thinking, right, what can I say to make this even more that I look good in this? It doesn't seem like a genuine reflection on the conversation. It seems way more like I need to say the right things to make sure that people are definitely see how good I did in the debate, you know? So cringe. Anyway, I'm sure that WillyMac is gonna respond also, gonna do something about it. We'll see.
It's ultimately it's silly bitch shit. So he was literally mad that you speculated on the news, which is literally your job. I know. It's no more speculation allowed. Not allowed. Just to show how useless these kinds of debates are, people are already claiming you didn't debate the right guy. I know. Immediately, when it doesn't go the way that they want, they will find different reasons as to be like, well, that wasn't the right guy. That was the wrong guy.
Dude, where is that coming from? All I've seen is people. I have seen people saying that like WillyMac did quite well, and like it was almost like oh damn, he actually did fairly well for what he's not a debate guy. He's like a video essayist kind of guy. Dude, who is saying this? I'm sure that we could find it somewhere. I'm just speaking to the broad perspectives that I'm seeing following this debate, and pretty much all of it was congratulating WillyMac on doing a good job.
There's a right guy out there, I promise. You'll find the right guy one day, but that wasn't the right guy. There's another guy. Here, let's find another guy. Not, that doesn't change. That's always the same shit. The one he's talking about wasn't a misspeak. I think you were being sarcastic to a chatter when you very openly right after said, I'm speaking to on-the-ground reporters right now, so it's a null point anyways. The guy is just a drama farmer. Oh, okay. I don't know. I mean, again, like I said, guys, I speak for 10 hours every fucking day on political issues. I'm sorry, but if you think that, like, I'm not going to misspeak on any of those moments, or I'm not going to actually fucking say something sarcastic that you can easily take out of context, yeah, you can do that.
By the way, has he actually watched the video at this point or not? Honestly, I love the idea that he's just continuing to talk about this and hasn't even watched the video. I mean, I kind of begrudgingly think there's a level of giga-chadness in that, right? He's just not going to watch it when it was like a well put together video that really laid out some of the issues. But he's just going to sit here and, act like he knows what was in the video after having a conversation with someone and badgering the guy that made it to the point of like getting really irate with it. Yeah, that's true. It's very true that he just, yeah. He would absolutely criticize someone heavily for having a heated gamer moment, right? But then he gets to like have these moments where he says something out of turn or misspeaks, and it's like, yeah, well, I'm going to misspeak, aren't I? Yeah, of course. That applies to all streamers. He didn't watch JX's video either and screamed and cried about it for hours. It's so funny, isn't it? Maybe, hey, listen, maybe if we're lucky, maybe next year, he might change some of this and pretend it's not because of the criticisms that were made. But if we're lucky, he might change a little bit. He might wait an extra day before he starts talking about how the Jews are also. Oh, I think you're doing another 10 minutes of this, and then we'll move on.
Do that. You can always do that. Part of the reason why I don't usually like debating bad faith people in general. Part of the reason why I don't like debating bad faith people in general, especially those who have no like genuine political perspectives, is because they have no skin in the game. They don't actually care. And ultimately it's just to do shit slinging and to be like, you're a bad guy. You're a bad guy, and here is why, because you misspoke here. Or I found this one clip from fucking 10 hours of coverage where you said something that I can use against you because I have no interest in like genuinely understanding your perspective. That's it.
What good faith did Hasan demonstrate to WillyMac to see his perspective? God, it is so... Me. This is classic fucking Hasan, isn't it? What about my perspective? Well, what about WillyMac's perspective? This is just the this is the ego that you reach, I think, when you're like one of the top streamers. I mean, this dude was literally the poster boy for TwitchCon. It's, dude. He was always this bad. Well, yeah. I mean, it's you know, is there no like, I don't know, man. If I got on my leg up doing what he does in the way that he did, which is obviously via Cenk Uygur and nepotism, I don't know, man. I just feel like I'd be a lot more humble. Maybe they don't have maybe humility isn't a concept that exists in Turkey. Maybe that's not a Turkish thing. But it just seems crazy to me that he's so sure of himself. Anyway. Yeah, let's watch a bit more of this, I guess. I just wanted to get a little taste. How long does this cope session last for anyway, man? It looks like it lasted another couple of minutes, so maybe that's
You only
adequate.
do that when fucking 4,500 children have been ruthlessly slaughtered over the course of a month and a half. When
dead children, dead children.
Other than just saying, well, you're a bad guy. And that's it. And if you think that that is the case, then I don't really know what to tell you. All right. His arguments attempt to paint you as a bad figure for people to look up to, when in reality, we aren't rabid morons that will immediately act on your criticism of someone like rabid Trumpers do. Yeah.
It's funny, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, people think I'm reaching. His little attempts to like make names for him and the way he was acting was very Trump-like to me. But yeah. Anyway, I think we'll end it there. That's enough. That's enough Hasan. I'm kind of overdosed on Hasan, honestly. I've watched so much of the I watched all of the Hasan Ethan fallout. And this was just a nice cherry on top, I think.